Hey guys, Chris McLean here, just hanging out at Academy headquarters here in Abu Dhabi. And I'm just having a bit of a play here, just having a bit of a look at my website and what I wanted to do for you guys was show you a really quick design and web architecture, sitemap or web structure audit that you can do for your website. So you can make sure that you're using the latest technologies, that your website's really going to be presenting your business and your brand in the right way. It's 2015. I talk to a lot of my consulting clients. Their websites were built in 2010, 2011, and even before that, which sounds quite modern, but still, you're 4 or 5 years behind the technology, the design, the styling. Not to mention just plugins and some of the cool stuff you can do with websites now. The modalities of website changes so quickly. You need to make sure that you're caught up as much as possible. So I'll just give you a few tools, a few tricks you can go through your own website, run a quick audit, and work out, see what's working and what's not. And this is the same process I go through with my consulting clients. So it's really taking a visual look at your website. You know what I mean. You can go to a website and you can pretty much straight away if it's a good website or not. You can look at it if it looks really outdated, if it's got crazy colors and crazy fonts in it, and looks like it was built in 1985. You can pretty quickly determine whether a website's well designed or not. And the architecture, you kind of work that out as you start navigating through the site. If it's easy to move through the site, it's well architected. If it's not well architected, it's going to be really hard to work your way through the website, and when you get into it, you're not going to know where you are. So here's 12 key things that I go through on my consultations that are key to really just working out quite quickly whether your site's designed and architected well. So the first thing is to have a consistent design across the pages. It seems like a no-brainer, but a lot of, especially it's a lot easier now with things like WordPress and Drupal and platforms where you can build based on a theme, so everything looks the same. But you'd be amazed how many people still just build pages in HTML, and they've built this part first, and then they've done an e-com platform, and then they stuck a bit on the end, and then they did some stuff over here, and every piece of it looks completely different. There's no consistency, and that's an automatic turn off for customers. You really want to keep that consistency of design across every part of your website. And it's okay to change the colors out. Maybe you can designate different sections with different colors. That can work really well, but the branding, the way it looks, needs to be consistent across the entire website. That's an easy win. That's the first thing to really look at for your website. Secondly, you can look at the use of modern techniques. So are you using modern opt-in forms? Have you got social media connections? Are you displaying your Facebook feed in there maybe? Are you connecting into Instagram? Are you showing some Pinterest photos? Especially with the explosion of social, that's really important to get on your website, but it's also really important just to use email marketing plugins, cool click bars at the top that can quickly get people to opt into your mailing lists. Popovers, overlay optimized pop-ups, pop-unders. There's so many technologies that just weren't available 5-10 years ago, even a couple of years ago, that just make it really, really simple to build really killer sites. So make sure you're using the latest technologies. The third piece is to look at the look and feel. Is it modern? Is it contemporary? Can you tell that it was built in the last couple of years? Or, as I said at the start, does it look like it was built in the early 2000s? Really quick win. You can really get in quite quickly and determine whether a site looks like it's modern or looks like it's old. It doesn't have, not every site, not every brand has a contemporary modern look, but you can tell just by the design and the layout of a website whether it was built recently or whether it was built a longer time ago. So that's something you can look at. And that leads into the fourth point here around brand relevance. So if you're not a cutting edge, modern, sophisticated, contemporary look and feel in your brand, maybe you're a bit more old school, a bit more traditional illustration style, that's fine, as long as that carries across the website and that looks like it's like it's been done in modern times. So having that brand relevance, the website needs to look and feel like your other touch points, your business cards, your events, your flyers. If it's yourself, it needs to, if it's a personal brand, a personal business, it needs to carry the same kind of disposition as yourself. So that website needs to be relevant to your brand. It needs to look and feel the same as all your other brand touch points. Some other quick wins is to get some more interactive components in, so video, images, visual media. With the explosion of the visual web, this stuff's just killer to get into your website. Get some video in there, whether it's sales video or introductory video, even somebody else speaking. Just get some video content in there, because consumption of video content is just going through the roof, especially now in 2015. Visual web is exploding. Visuals and images also make it really easy for people to see what's going on your website. Reading text is sort of a thing of the past. Get some visuals in there. Font choice, readability, having readable fonts. Don't use Comic Sans. No to Comic Sans. Arial, Helvetica, Tahoma, sans serif fonts generally work better. It's okay to use a branded font if you have a font that you use in your brand and use that through your site for headers and that sort of thing, and in your graphics. But really, for readability, you want a nice sans serif font, colors that are readable. Don't put a red font on a red background or a yellow font on a black background. Make it really readable. Generally, a darker colored font on a white or light colored background is going to be your best for readability for most users. And we're getting to the architecture side a bit more now. You want it to be really easy for your customers to access important content. So whether that's pulling those out into a few panels on the home page, restructuring your navigation so it's really simple for people to go from A to B and get from your home page directly into your basically the pages that you want them to see, rather than them kind of just going through the website randomly on their own. You want to direct them to 3 or 4 pieces of key content, and you can do that from your home page, but then also through your navigation, through your side panels, basically all the parts of your website working together to lead people to your key content. Make sure your buttons and links are clearly displayed. Sounds like a no-brainer. People can get really confused if you've got other text that's underlined, for example. The classic link is to have it underlined, so if you've got other things underlined, people might be clicking on those and not going anywhere and thinking it's broken. Make buttons obviously look like buttons. If someone's meant to click on something, make it look like they're meant to click on it. Don't try and hide it and make it an aesthetic choice. You can make it look cool, but make it obvious that there's something that they have to do with that thing. Simple navigation structure. Don't overcrowd it. Keep it simple. Goes back to the ease of access and the user journey we were talking about earlier. Get people to your content quickly, easily, intuitively as possible. You want them moving through your website in a natural way. You don't want them jumping over sporadically and hitting things that aren't driving value for them. Get them into your core content and do that through a simple navigation structure. You don't want to have 14 things in your header navigation. 4, 5, 3. Keep it simple. Use drop downs if you need to subcategorize things, but keep your navigation really simple. Content siloing is something that's kind of coming a bit more to the fore now with the push into content marketing. And here we're talking about basically breaking your content up into digestible chunks. So rather than just saying, here's a whole swathe of information, you're making it really easy to talk about marketing here, design here, and branding here. So people who are interested in those parts of your business can move into those silos quickly, and within those silos, all of the stuff related to that is contained in there. And your navigation reflects that, the user journey reflects that, and it kind of ties into all the last points we've been discussing around architecture. Siloing content is not only good for user journey, it's also really good for SEO purposes. Google really likes it when it can see here's this section's about design and everything related in that, or the linking is about design. This is about content marketing, all the information's about content marketing, etc. Really good for SEO, really good for visibility. All this comes back to creating a clearly defined user journey. So your user hits your website, they know where to go to get to something. Once they're there, they know where they are. They can get back to where they came from. They can get to other content really quickly. All of these, the purpose of everything you've just done is to create a really clearly defined user journey. So if I hit your homepage and I'm interested in a specific thing, once I go down that rabbit hole, it's easy for me to continue. I'm not hitting here and then having to come back over here and then come back over here. That gets really confusing. Make it a really nice, seamless user journey, and make it defined. So clearly, rather than a user having to work out where your stuff is, show them, make it really obvious where to click, where to go, where your content's housed. And final piece, and this kind of comes back to architecture, but also comes back to compliance, is making sure that you've just got the basic, the real key pages that every website should have, that people are going to be coming to your website for. So obviously a home page is pretty obvious. A blog page, an article page if you're blogging and writing articles. Key things like a contact page. People are going to come to your website to contact you. So make sure you have a contact page. Make sure that contact page is up to date, has all your relevant information, has a site map you can pull in Google Maps very easily these days. People are going to come to your website to find out how to connect with you socially. They're going to come to your website to opt into your lists. They're going to come to your website for fill in the blank. Whatever it is your business does, that's what people are going to come to your website for. So make sure you have those pages. Make it easy for people to find you. Make it easy for people to find the information that they're going to want to get from you when they come to your website. So there you go. Some simple things to do all of you can go and just have a look at your website today, run through that list and fix any of those problems. If you need a hand with it, call out to me. Put some comment down under this video, hit me up on the website, hit me up on my email, chris.mclean@bizexcelacademy.com. I can come and help you out. I can give you some more pointers. Or go hire a web designer, jump on Fiverr, jump on Odesk, hire a web designer who can come and help you out with everything. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to, now that you've identified, for a developer, for a designer, if you can go into them and say, hey, look, these are the things that I need done on my website, I've done a bit of an audit, this is what I'm looking to do, they're going to love you, it's going to be cheaper for you, and it's going to be more effective work rather than, because you've done some work, you've come to them with a predefined list of things that you need to get done, rather than saying, hey, my website's crap, can you fix it? Your design brief's going to be a lot simpler, which is better for everyone. So I hope that was useful, guys. I look forward to seeing you all having killer websites up and running. Hit me up if you need anything, if you need some help with it. I'm more than happy to do a bit of diagnosis myself and have a look at your website. So until next time, take it easy and I'll see you then. Cheers.